Have you ever felt a connection so strong it almost scared you? The kind of bond where your heart races, your eyes linger, and yet you both pull back as if touching that truth would be too much. Sometimes two people can already love each other, but fear gets in the way. Fear of rejection, fear of getting hurt, fear of losing something before it's even begun. In this video, we're going to uncover 9 deep psychological signs that reveal when you both are afraid to love each other, but already do. And as you listen, think carefully, because you may recognize yourself in more of these signs than you'd like to admit. Sign 1, the eyes that speak but stay silent. There's a moment between two people where words don't matter. It's in the eyes. You notice it when your gaze meets theirs, and suddenly the world feels quiet. For a split second, everything you've been trying to hide is exposed. Longing, curiosity, even love. But just as quickly, both of you look away, almost as if the truth is too heavy to hold. Psychology tells us that eye contact is one of the strongest forms of nonverbal communication. When we're drawn to someone, our eyes linger naturally. But when love feels dangerous or uncertain, that same gaze becomes overwhelming. So instead of holding it, we break it. We look down, to the side, anywhere else, pretending we didn't just reveal more than we meant to. And yet, those stolen glances keep happening. It's like a language only the two of you can understand. Each glance says, "I see you. I feel you. I want you." But the fear says, "Not yet. Not now." If you've ever found yourself caught in those unspoken conversations through the eyes, it's a powerful sign, because eyes rarely lie, even when our words do. Sign 2, the push and pull of distance. One moment, you feel so close it's undeniable. The laughter, the comfort, the warmth of simply being near each other. And then, almost without warning, the distance appears. They pull back. They become quieter, colder, as if the connection never happened. It leaves you confused, wondering if you imagined it all. This push and pull isn't random. Psychologists often link it to something called avoidant attachment. When feelings grow too strong, people with this pattern instinctively retreat. It's not because they don't care. In fact, it's often the opposite. The emotions are so intense that they trigger fear. Fear of losing control, fear of being vulnerable, fear of being hurt. So instead of leaning in, they step back. And yet, not for long, something always draws them closer again. Like a magnet they can't resist, they return with small gestures, a smile, a question, a touch. Just enough to remind you the bond is still there. This back and forth dance isn't about lack of love. It's about too much love, too soon, before the heart feels ready to risk everything. And if you've ever felt it, you know it's both thrilling and exhausting. Sign 3, words left unspoken. You talk about everything, your day, your dreams, even the little annoyances that make you laugh. But when it comes to the one thing that matters most, both of you go silent. The feelings hang in the air, unspoken, heavy, almost electric. This silence isn't empty. It's filled with meaning. It's the pauses before you answer, the way conversations linger on the edge of confession, but never cross it. Deep down, you both know the words are there. I like you. I need you. I love you. But fear builds a wall around them. From a psychological view, this happens when vulnerability feels too risky. Saying how you feel makes it real. And once it's real, there's a chance of rejection, loss, or heartbreak. So instead, you hold back. You laugh at the right times. You change the subject. You bury the words before they escape. And yet the silence betrays you. Because in those quiet moments, the truth feels louder than any sentence you could speak. It's in the way your voice softens around them. It's in the way they hesitate, as if balancing on the edge of a confession they're too afraid to give. If you've ever felt that tension in the pauses, where every unspoken word feels like a secret promise, then you already know. Love is there, even if it's never said aloud. Sign 4. Protecting the heart with jokes. When feelings run deep, not everyone shows it with a straight face. Instead, the heart hides behind laughter. You notice it in the playful teasing, the sarcastic comments, the little jokes that seem harmless on the surface. But underneath, they carry more weight than words ever admit. Psychology tells us that humor is often a defense mechanism. It's a way of covering up emotions that feel too risky to show. Think about it. It's easier to say, "Don't get a big head now," with a grin than to whisper, "I can't stop thinking about you." Jokes create a safe distance. They let you express closeness without the danger of full exposure. But here's the secret. Behind those jokes is often a confession. The playful teasing is a disguise, a softer way of saying, "I care about you more than I'm ready to admit." And if you listen closely, you'll notice the difference between jokes made to pass time and jokes made to protect a vulnerable heart. When two people are afraid to love, humor becomes a shield. But even shields have cracks. Every laugh, every sarcastic remark, every playful nudge carries a piece of the truth they're too scared to put into words. If you've ever caught yourself smiling at their jokes while wondering what they really mean, chances are the feelings run much deeper than either of you dare to say out loud. Sign 5. The body betrays the mind. Sometimes, no matter how carefully you guard your feelings, your body gives you away. You notice it in the restless hands, the way they fidget, adjust their clothes, or play with their hair when you're near. You see it in the sudden stiffness when your shoulders almost brush, or in the nervous laugh that slips out without reason. But then there's the other side, the moments when the body forgets to hide. Without even thinking, they lean in closer when you speak. Their feet point toward you. Their posture softens, almost as if their body feels safe in your presence, even while their mind screams, "Don't get too close." Psychology explains this as nonverbal leakage, when our true emotions escape through unconscious behavior. The truth is, attraction and love are hard to suppress. While the mind may resist, the body often reveals what words try to conceal. And that's the irony. The very gestures meant to stay neutral end up confessing the deepest truths. The quick touch that lingers just a moment too long. The accidental brush of hands that neither of you pulls away from. The nervous laugh that betrays how much they care. If you've ever noticed your body moving closer, even when your thoughts told you to step back, or caught their body language speaking louder than their words, it's a clear sign. The feelings are there, alive, and impossible to completely hide. Sign 6. Jealousy without admission. Jealousy is a tricky thing. It doesn't always show up in dramatic outbursts or bold declarations. Sometimes it hides in the smallest reactions. A shift in tone, a sudden silence, or the way their smile fades when someone else has your attention. You might notice they become quieter when you mention another person's name, or they joke about you having options. But there's an edge in their voice. Maybe they act indifferent, but their eyes betray them, watching too closely, lingering too long. These subtle signs are often more telling than words. Psychology explains that jealousy is one of the clearest indicators of emotional investment. When we fear losing someone, it means they already hold a place in our heart. But when two people are afraid to love openly, jealousy rarely turns into confession. Instead, it slips out in controlled doses, a half smile, a teasing remark, a sudden withdrawal from the moment. The truth is, they won't say, "I care too much to see you with someone else." That level of honesty feels terrifying. So instead, they bury it beneath indifference, even though you can feel the tension in the air. If you've ever caught those quiet moments of jealousy, the ones they try so hard to hide, take it as a sign. because people don't get jealous over someone they don't secretly love. Sign 7. Intense comfort, intense fear. There's a strange paradox in love that isn't spoken. When two people truly connect, being together feels like the most natural thing in the world. You can sit in silence and still feel at peace. You can share small, ordinary moments, a cup of coffee, a walk, a quiet evening, and they feel extraordinary simply because of who you're with. But here's where it gets complicated. The deeper the comfort, the stronger the fear. Because comfort means safety, and safety means you have something to lose. And when the heart realizes it's found something precious, the instinct is to protect it, even if that means pulling away. Psychologists call this the vulnerability paradox. The very thing that brings healing and closeness, intimacy, also awakens the deepest fears of abandonment, rejection, and loss. That's why you may notice they feel at ease in your presence one moment, but suddenly become distant the next. It's not that the bond is weak, it's that it's too powerful. So if you've ever felt that strange mix of emotions, the warmth of belonging and the chill of fear at the same time, it's not in your head. It's the reality of two hearts caught between love and the terror of losing it. This combination of comfort and fear is one of the clearest signs that love is already present, even if neither of you dares to fully name it. Sign 8. Overthinking every interaction. When two people are afraid to love but already do, every word, every gesture, every glance takes on a weight far greater than it should. You replay conversations in your head, analyzing every pause, every smile, every text. You wonder if you said too much or not enough. And yet the other person is doing the exact same thing, often at the same time. Psychology calls this rumination, and it's a natural response when emotions are intense but unspoken. Your mind keeps circling the same moments because your heart is waiting for signals, signs that they feel the same way you do. Even the smallest interactions become a minefield of potential meaning. Did they look at me that way because they like me, or is it nothing? Did that laugh mean more than it seemed? This overthinking isn't a flaw. It's proof that the connection matters. When you care deeply about someone, your brain becomes hyper-aware of every possible clue, every hint of affection or rejection. It's exhausting, yes, but it also reveals that your feelings are very real, even if fear keeps them unspoken. If you've ever found yourself replaying a simple text or conversation late into the night, wondering what it all meant, chances are you're not alone. Because when two hearts are secretly aligned, the mind becomes both detective and prisoner of the very emotions it fears. Sign 9. The energy that can't be hidden. Even in silence, even from across the room, there's a pull, a subtle energy that draws you together without a word being spoken. It's in the way they notice the smallest details about you, how their presence changes when you enter a space, how even ordinary moments feel charged when you're near each other. Psychologists call this emotional attunement, a deep, unconscious awareness of another person's feelings and reactions. When two people are secretly in love, their energy naturally syncs. Hearts respond to heartbeats, moods mirror each other, and a simple glance can convey what words cannot. This energy is impossible to fake or hide for long. Even if both of you try to mask your feelings, it seeps through. In gestures, in tone, in the way your attention always finds each other. It's almost magnetic, and it's often the first sign that love is already present, even when both minds are too scared to admit it. If you've ever felt that pull, the sense that someone's presence alone affects your mood, your thoughts, your heartbeat, it's a powerful reminder the connection is real, the love is real, and sometimes the universe speaks loudest not through words, but through the energy that can't be hidden. After noticing all these signs, one truth becomes clear. Fear doesn't erase love, it only masks it. Both of you may be holding back, overthinking, or protecting your hearts, but the emotions are already there, quietly growing, impossible to ignore. The irony is beautiful. The very things that make love feel dangerous, the silences, the jokes, the nervous gestures, are also the things that prove it exists. Your eyes, your body, your energy, even the tiny sparks of jealousy all tell a story your words may never speak. So if you see these signs in yourself or someone you care about, it's not a problem to fix. It's a reality to embrace. Sometimes love doesn't need a grand confession. Sometimes it simply needs courage. The courage to acknowledge what's already there, to step closer despite the fear, and to finally let two hearts speak without hiding. Because the most powerful love stories aren't always shouted from the rooftops. Sometimes they're whispered in glances, in touches, in moments too delicate for words, and they last far longer than anything spoken aloud.